All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bleav in the Dallas Cowboys with two of your favorite people. My name is Jeff Cavanaugh. You can also hear me on the radio on 97.1 The Freak and DFW and the iHeartRadio app. This is my friend, former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley, and here he is giving the business to a team that the Cowboys can't beat anymore.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
I'm strong too. I don't want to back up so much that people can see how big my biceps are. Let us shout out before we get going. Both sponsors of Bleav.
Let's go.
Cowboys.
We got two
of them. BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wager needs, pro and college hoops throughout the year, up to the minute odds, stats, and trends. Follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting contests and all the best player props. Get it together, Mavs. You're freaking me out. And they're playing Carlisle tonight. So, yeah, you can get action on that. But I fear Rick Carlisle. Head to BetOnline today and become part of the team. Remember to use the promo code Bleav for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That is BLEAV. And we want to thank our friends at Cut, K-U-T-T. It's a social betting platform. So, like Jesse and I are about to fight about Tyron Smith. On Cut, you want to use the promo code Bleav Cowboys, BLEAV Cowboys, but you can make your own wager, set your own odds, and then you challenge somebody to it, bam, and you rock and roll that way. So I would say to Jesse, Tyron Smith is going to be a Cowboy by insert date here. Bam, he hits accept, we party, and we rock and roll. So yeah, Bleav Cowboys on Cut. We could also bet on if Taylor and Travis are going to be together by a certain date, but we don't want to do that. Anyway, welcome to Bleav in the Dallas Cowboys. How are you, Jesse?
I'm doing well. The offseason will be the telltale sign because now you have to spend time together. And sometimes between her touring and him playing and practicing, when you come together, you only have time for really good moments and a lot of You see what I'm saying?
You can't.
I'm just saying. They're the ones that I couldn't do that. But the offseason, you actually now have to know what, as Biggie would say, tell me what your interests are, who you be with, things that make you smile, what numbers to dial. We're going to be, right? So now they got to actually sit there and talk to one another and actually get to know her past the, you know what I'm saying?
We're on TV now.
Oh, sorry.
We're on TV.
And I have a Team Jesus shirt on. But Jesus made it. So
they should wait until they're married.
Yes,
they should wait until they're married, Jesse. If they are doing that, they are living in sin.
They are.
But I have been ordained by the Universal Life Church. So if they need forgiveness, they may come to me. Leave in the comments after you hit the thumbs up on this video. Leave in the comments what you need forgiveness for, because I can now grant that.
Okay.
At youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh is an ordained minister of the Universal Life Church. I'm prepared to help you. Jesse, I can help you. I don't think you need it. I think you're fine.
I can always do some forgiveness. I can always use prayer, and I can always use forgiveness. So
okay, I forgive you.
Feel free. Thank you.
I forgive you. Your day's off to a hot start.
Yes.
Do you want to start with Tyron Smith?
Yes, I do. Because I think we sit on two different sides of the table when it comes to this Tyron Smith argument. And I think I have a really good analogy that's going to help my point. So I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with this. I think analogies just mean that you don't actually have a point. So you're just going to tell a story about something totally different.
I got points.
And pretend that it applies to this situation. So the news would be that at the moment, it sounds like Tyron Smith is going to play somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they met with his agent at the Combine, and they ain't close, which means I know how the Cowboys work. The Cowboys were like, yeah, we really like you, Tyron. If you would like to play for the league minimum, we'd love to have you around, and you owe us that. And he was like, people don't owe you stuff. Stop saying that crap. I already played for a decade on a cheap deal. I would like somewhere near my market value. And they were like, we don't know what market value is, and we don't believe in it. So you go have a good time, and we're going to find somebody to play for peanuts and hope to God that they're capable of playing football. So yeah, I want Tyron back because it goes in line with the whole thing I'm trying to do is get ready to draft football players. And before I'm ready to draft football players, I have to have a team that could play on Sunday, and my team can't play on Sunday right now. I mean, I guess you could always play on Sunday. In theory, Tyler Smith could play left tackle and TJ Bass could play left guard. and Brock Hoffman could play center. We got to sign guys that we feel like, okay, I don't have to use my first round pick on a tackle where I'm going to reach and pray to God that dude's capable or whatever. Tyron's still really good at football. Odds are, yes, he would miss 3 to 8 games. Who knows? Odds are. But he's still really good at football. And I kind of thought there would be a hometown discount. It just felt that way, where he'd be like, I give you a little break because, yeah, I do like it here and I've been here forever. I want Tyron back on this team because this offensive line at the moment is in trouble. And I could keep him and draft a guy and do all the things. And the days that he plays will be lovely. And the days that he doesn't, that's okay. We're going to build towards that anyway. We've been doing that for years, just not well enough. So, yeah, I want Tyron Smith back. Now, I don't know what those numbers are. Does he want true market value? Because the way he played last year, his market would be somebody needs to give me 4 years and $80-90 million. Are they going to do that? No. But if there's any reasonable way to do it, I don't like life without a left tackle, Jesse.
No, I'm with you 100%. And let me preface this by saying I do think I like Tyler. I like Tyron. I like Tyler too, but I like Tyron Smith. Like, I like him as a player.
Do you?
I do. I do. Here's my teammate.
Here's the person.
No, I love the person.
That's important.
I love the person. I'm kind of a little bit pushing out the player. Love the person. Like, legitimately love Tyron as a person. My thing is this, and I think you hit on a lot of the reasons why I think it's time to move on, is while Tyron may be able to play some good football, at some point in time, the dam will break, right? We've been inching closer to this thing being a full season. And Tyron, he has things that don't get better with age and or time, right? We're talking about knees, back, and neck, clavicle, spinal, like what did Mike Tyson say? I broke my back. It's spinal. Like, he has things as a 30. His back. Yeah, we're on live TV. See, he's talking about me. You're doing the same thing.
All I said is his neck, his back.
Come
you
on,
literally
Kaya.
did visuals.
Come
and
on,
said,
Kaya.
Eater.
But for Tyron, it's a lot of the same thing, right? We're putting a lot of resources in making sure that Tyron is healthy. He can't practice. He has to have all this rehab. We have to make so many concessions just to get him to Sunday. And that is just kind of weighing on the organization. That's weighing on the resources that you have to put into it. And you never know from week. Like, literally, Tyron came out for a game on a Saturday, like on a Sunday, and was like, oh no, I can't go. You just can't live life in that sort of monopoly, that sort of uncertainty. And here's my other purpose in saying that I think the Cowboys are doing the right thing if they decide to move on. Now, they may backdoor this thing and whatever it is. If I'm Tyron, I already tell you, I played for 10 years on a team-friendly deal. Like, now I'm on the way out. Now I'm trying to kind of cash in a little bit on some of the stuff that I've kind of lended you a little bit.
Or I'm going to cash in, or I'm going to go somewhere where I think they will win the Super Bowl.
And that's fine.
If you want me to play for cheap, I will. For Pat Mahomes.
That's fine. And that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. And he deserves that. Like, he deserves that opportunity to go and to compete for a championship. He's done enough for so many other people and has been a figure in this league for a long time. He deserves that. But to Jerry's point, and we'll get to Jerry's point as well, when you're talking about going all in, and here's my analogy. Because football is a relationship, right? It is a relationship. And what happens when you and Old Bay, right? You here it is. You got an Old Bay or two in your life, and if the new Bay is watching, sorry, new Bay, but you got an Old Bay in your life, and you and Old Bay, y'all kind of been on. We love each other, but maybe we aren't always good for each other, and we kind of take this separation, and then we come back. But I never change, and she never changed, and we try to make this thing work, and it always ends up coming out to the same thing. Now, when you rid of Old Bay, or she rids of you, and now New Bay comes into the picture, I have to change the way that I do this process. I have to come in with a different set of skills. So I say this when it comes to Tyron Smith, is that if you rid of Tyron, and I shouldn't say rid, that sounds really mean, but if you let Tyron Smith walk, you now have to refocus on how is your all-in going. You got to go out and get a new bay. You got to change your thinking. You got to change some things. You bring a new attitude and a new perspective into the locker room, whether that's a rookie and or a veteran out on the street. So I think for Jerry and Steven and Will McClay, letting some of these pieces go mean that they have to dig deeper into the bag. They have to evaluate harder. They have to put pieces together better. And sometimes adding new pieces, adding that new bay to your life enhances your life a little bit more. It gives you a little bit more a breath of fresh air, because the old ways aren't working. And that has been the biggest thing. The old ways are not working for the Cowboys. So I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in a free agent left tackle, as well as drafting a left tackle. This is the draft for that. Will Steele made a great comment the other day. He talked about last year. He talked about last year when the Cowboys were on the clock. They had 2 draft picks that they were talking about. They were talking about a defensive tackle out of Michigan, and they were talking about an offensive tackle. And they could have went either way. They went the defensive tackle out of Michigan. And that, for now, hasn't quite worked out for them. This is a draft where you have so many left tackles at your disposal to go out there and choose. And this is just my personal preference. And those of you do not have to agree with me, and I'm okay with that. Just do it respectfully, because I'm going to have to see some of y'all on the street one of these days for your public disrespect. But I prefer, if you're going to give me something that has to be young and or new, it be my left tackle, because I can always help there. There's ways I can work through that as he's learning. But go get my linebacker, my defensive tackle. Go get me veterans. Go get me guys who got a little bit of scars. Go get me guys who understand what the hell is happening, because football on the defensive end is a far more complicated. Knowing what the offensive scheme has to be, if I'm trying to put new pieces in there, the learning curve for me just isn't working. So I want to go get veteran D tackles. I want to go get veteran linebackers to fill those voids, but guys who know what the hell's happening in the National Football League today, can identify things, understand keys, can move, can go around and see things and be voices on my defense. I can always help out my left tackle. I can put tight ends over there. I can motion away from him. I can short throw it. I can run. I can do a multitude of things until he gets his feet wet, if he even needs to get his feet wet. And I'm younger and I'm cheaper and I'm planning for the future, because I'm about to give my quarterback a new deal. So he's going to be here for the next foreseeable future, 4 to 5 years. So why not go ahead and get my left tackle in there? So now I couple my left tackle, my left guard. They're going to be stalemates on that left side. I go get me a veteran center. I take Zach Martin, who has a couple more years left. I leave him at right guard, and then we just pray. You said you're an ordained minister, that you can pray, you can forgive, and you can add blessings to things. So we're just going to pray for Terrence Steele on that right side and hope all that stuff comes together. So while the offensive line today may be a little bit, I think it can easily be changed and fixed, and we can keep this thing right going again. So that's why I'm okay with Tyron Smith exiting the building, going somewhere and giving himself the rightful opportunity to go win the championship. He deserves. But I think if we're talking about going all in sometimes mean I need new pieces to go and do that.
I like everything that you said, because you're my friend.
No.
And I think you're very wise.
I like it because it's an intelligent thing that I said. Don't like it because of their
what
friendship.
You said is very intelligent and makes a lot of sense. My only problem is all in, using the words all in, and then somehow bending that to mean my players don't have to be as good is a weird thing to do. And all in, like, my issue is if it's not Tyron, and this applies to like 6 positions for the Cowboys right now, even if it's not Tyron, you better sign a guy who can start at left tackle before you go drafting.
All right, so let me give you a couple names, right? You have guys like Cam Fleming from the Denver Broncos, George Fant, Donovan Smith, Jermaine Eliu, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Just a few free agents. Jonah Williams from Cincinnati, Mekhi Becton, however you feel about Mekhi Becton, right? But there are guys out there. There are guys out there that you can put in in position. And sometimes getting into a new atmosphere changes what they could be. Like do you get? Because here's the thing I think that we're going to do with Tyron Smith. We're going to talk about the totality of who Tyron Smith is and how he's a Hall of Famer. All right, we're going to look at the macro and say, oh, replacing the macro, right? The whole thing of what Tyron Smith was, is, and forever will be, right? The Bret Hart of Tyron Smith. Instead of focusing on the micro, like we can put this thing together. Like you can put this thing together with one of these solid free agent left tackles. It's doable. Teams do it all year long. The Chiefs went and did it. Like teams do it every single year. Losing Tyron Smith doesn't all of a sudden bury your football team. But if going all in means I can lose one guy, draft a guy who I'll get for cheap, right? We'll get for cheap at 24. That's a cheaper sell than giving Tyron a deal. It's not a cheaper sell.
No. My problem is this is my problem. This is what I fear. My problem is that if you lose Tyron Smith, that this is what they're thinking, that we will replace him at 24. It's the worst way to draft you could ever draft.
No,
because here's what
I'm
happens
not
if you say,
saying that.
I'm going to get my tackle at 24. I'm going to use Dane Brugler's draft rankings just for fun. He has
Not
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 offensive tackles in his top 18.
Okay.
The next guy is his 38th best player. So the 6 guys are gone when you get to 24. And what do the Cowboys do? They pick the 38th best player at 24, and that is a great way to bust.
Right.
Is to intentionally pick an inferior player because I was picking my left tackle, baby.
You don't have to. That's the point. You don't have to. Now, if a guy slips who was in Dane's upper echelon of that group, slipped to 24, okay, we consider taking him. You don't have to go and take that dude. There's enough free agents out here. That's what I'm talking about, going all in. When you let something go, you got to refocus. When you get back on the dating scene after Obey left, you got to get a haircut. You got to put on some new clothes. You got to visit new places, right? You got to look the part to find new Bay. So if you let Tyron Smith go, this can all blow up in my face, right? Because I'm expecting people to go do things that I don't know if they're going to do or not. But I'm saying that Will McClay and company will put the new resources because the energy changes. The energy has to change. If Tyron is gone, your focus has to change. You have to start looking at now, how do we replace this in the most proper manner possible? It's not just, well, Tyron is here, so we'll just figure that. We'll ignore what Tyron really is, and we'll kind of go over here until that pops up again. That's why I'm saying this shift changes the shift in the vision of the people in charge. They now have to look at this thing differently, and that puts different energy in this, and they start going to get guys. Because I do believe, like, I think CeeDee Lamb is in that upper echelon, right? Elite category. I think Ferguson is fine. I think running back, we'll figure that. Like, running back to me, it won't be a big issue. There's enough guys that will be out here. Trust and believe you me. And as the days go on, we're seeing more and more teams releasing players. Now, some they'll probably sign back later on, but we're seeing more and more players being released. And that means that there'll be running backs released. There'll be other linemen that will be released that you can kind of bring into the fold and allow yourself to be okay when draft day comes, that you're not reaching for a specific player. But all in, and maybe we get to that next about all in, because I think Jerry regrets even saying all in. I do. I honestly do. I think he said it in the moment. We'll get to that. I'm just saying, in totality, the Cowboys have an opportunity. And again, this could all blow up my face, and people will replay this video back in 6 months and say, you bumbling, stumbling idiot of a fool. Please be respectful.
It's going to happen.
Please be respectful when you say this. But I just think, I think change or letting something go requires a level of change that if Jerry and company are going to stick to the tagline of all in, that these are the pieces that have to come with it. And you can find there will be enough in the pool. There will be enough in the pool to go and put pieces in place to get this team exactly where they need to be with draft picks and with free agents.
For sure. If they do it. Because like the problem is that, and why this thing, I'll be the hater today.
Yes.
We may be watching the ship and see the iceberg coming out of the fog right now. That might be this season.
Yeah, but there was enough for 2 people on that wooden door.
Okay, but I'm not worried about the wooden door. I'm just saying that the whole thing's going to run in.
Now, plank, look, I'm just saying, Leo.
I'm just
Leo,
telling
you could have got on the door with her. You guys could have been both alive.
This is how many starters the Cowboys are losing right now.
That's fine.
That's how many.
That's fine.
And some of them, don't get me wrong, I don't even want them back. But
that's fine.
We do need new starters.
Yeah.
This many.
That's
and
fine.
My fear is that
that's
the Cowboys
every year, Jeff Cavanaugh. That's every single year. This roster, every NFL roster is churned over every single year. 33% of NFL rosters are turned over every single year. This is not different. This is not out of the ordinary. Like, teams have to rebuild or portions of their roster every single year. A lot of the core stays, right? The core, you hope that your core is the younger core if you're not, in that position to go, for it right now. But a lot of it changes. This is not abnormal to the process of what NFL teams go through every single year.
No, but what is abnormal is that they just came off of a year where their draft class gave them this.
Yep.
And now so you have another draft class coming, and the way they're talking. And here's the other thing that we have to address at some point. Jerry's words don't mean anything. Jerry's words mean nothing.
Yeah.
Because Jerry's not in charge of almost anything.
I agree.
Can Jerry say, hey, we're not going to pay Tyron market value, let's do something else? Sure. He can say things. But Jerry ain't doing much other than talking to y'all.
Right.
Like, that's his job, which is why I don't think he regrets All In. All In was the best thing he did this offseason because it led every sports show for weeks. Like, what does it mean? Oh, my God, are they going to sign these guys? My one concern is that with the number of starters they need to replace, the fact that I trust no one from last year's draft class to be able to do any of that, and Jerry talking about how free agency is the devil because you have to pay, market value, is if they think they can dodge reasonable investments in players in free agency and that somehow draft and develop is going to replace 8 starters, they're outside their MF and heads and their team is going to suck. So we just need what Jerry says to not matter and not be true, and then be willing to go sign 4 to 5 at least capable NFL starters before they go drafting. Otherwise, iceberg cometh. They're going to smush into it if they really think that like Eric Scott or Nashawn Wright's going to start, or that we're just going to keep drafting and we're fine at defensive tackle, or that at linebacker, we're going to sign some guys on the 3rd week of free agency. We're going to sign a guy and then we're going to draft a guy. Like, you have lost a lot. You have not done well in the last draft. And if you think that you can just keep being the draft and develop Cowboys, you are smooshing iceberg. And this will be an average to below average year. 2025 will suck, and then we'll see what happens. And that's all. We need Jerry to be lying to your face about
what
free
he does
agency.
a lot.
Correct.
Right? Like, Jerry lies a lot. Like that is, I mean, at times that is.
And he's not lying. He's just speaking his truth, and his truth is very convoluted and strange, and he never really knows what's going on. And then he just changed his all in to all in. That's what all in is to me. Now it's I'm all in on whichever players we have, which that ain't what you meant when you said,
right.
Whatever.
And that's Jerry, right? Like, this is when we get to the point of sometimes the senile old man or the senile old woman, they just say things in the moment, right? They've lived long enough where we all have them. We all had them. I got them, right? We've all had aunties or uncles or grandmas or granddads who've gotten up there in age and they don't give a damn what you think. I'ma say whatever it is I want, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I ain't apologizing for it. I ain't going back. Like, old folks, they get to a point in time, they just like, man, I'm gonna say what the hell I want because I'm 80. I've earned it. I've earned the right to say what I want. And I think a lot of times with Jerry, he says these things and he doubles down on them, right? Like, he doubles down on them. He triple dogs dare them, and his tongue gets stuck on the frozen pole. right? And he's like, and now Will and Steven have to come in and clean it up, because of that. But Jerry saying that is so Jerry Jones. It's here's how I'm going to keep my franchise in your mouths in the offseason. This is how I'm going to keep, and then I'm going to methodically time out every time you get a chance to see me. So I'm gonna say it at the end of the year, then I'm gonna go away, and you're not gonna be able to see me. And then I'll pop up at a meeting, and then I'll say it again, and then I'll go away, and you'll just kind of just nibble on that cheese for a little bit. Then I'll pop up and come on to my bus, and then I'll go away, and then we'll get closer to draft time, and he'll say it again, and then by this time football's back. Now I don't have to talk about you anymore because when football's back, I've done my part. I've kept my franchise's name. I kept the most recognizable franchise in all of sports name in the mouths of those who need to talk about them until we get back to our relevant timeline of football being important again. And I think that's what Jerry did. And that's, if you are around Jerry Jones enough, if you're outside of the market, of course you eat that stuff up. But we know who are the people who actually run the show when it comes down to it. We know that Jerry has become a mouthpiece for this football team. And granted, fine job that he's done. Don't get me wrong. Fine job that he's done. You don't get to being the most recognizable and the richest franchise in all of sports without good marketing.
Because he's a kick-ass carnival barker. Because
the football ain't getting it. You don't have 30 years since you've been relevant in postseason. Yeah, you do some regular season things. That's marketing. Marketing has been able to do this. The hopium that he's been able to sell has been able to do this. So when he says things like this, I know it's not by happenstance, but sometimes I should say this, sometimes those around him wish that they could take the things that he say back, because they're like, God damn, man, like all in, why would you use those terms? Like, why would you use those terms? Now the pressure is on us from an organizational place of finding players that are notable enough to get people to go, oh yeah, this feels like it's all in.
No, yeah. And the answer to why would he say that is because we've never seen this fan base as despondent and disappointed as they were after they lost to Green Bay. So Jerry goes, don't worry, guys. I'll bring them back up. I'll stir them back up. I'll bring them back around. It's what I do. I'll get them. I'll tell them, you'll never see us go more crazy than we're about to go. And then 2 months later, once you already got everybody to eat that, you're like, I was just kidding. Y'all are crazy. I'm just doing whatever I want. All right. So kick ass. This show is presented by our friends at Bet Online. That's Jesse Holley, and I'm Jeff Cavanaugh. We thank you for hanging out with us. Remember that you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.